Hello, it's Lauren, and in today's video I will be showing you how I created this fun monster birthday card using the new Spooktacular Cupcakes stamp set and also the Happy Birthday background stencil and birthday balloon background stencil. So starting off with the balloon background stencil, I chose just one shape of balloon and I am tracing the shape of it onto masking paper. So I'm going to create two masks for this balloon because I'll be ink blending onto a cardstock panel. So this cardstock panel, I chose the size 5.5 by 8.5 because I wasn't quite sure what size of card I was going to make as of yet. So I just chose that size, so that gives me, more options if I wanted to make a larger card or a slimline card or, whatever size I decided to do. So here I am just ink blending some blue ink. So I'm going in with a blue, and also I am going to do green balloons. So blues and greens. And I like this ink because it's just really got bold color and it is really saturated, so it's just so easy to blend and really juicy. So I'm just blending it down there with a foam spongy applicator brush thingy, and I'm trying to do a darker shade down at the bottom of the balloon where it's not as where the balloon isn't as filled with air, and sort of lighter at the top where the balloon is stretched out more. And then I cover that up with a mask, and then I kind of clean my stencil a little bit off and use the green color. So I changed my little foam and to a green foamy thing, and then I apply my ink there, I blend that in. And again, I'm trying to do a darker shade at the bottom and then going lighter at the top as I go to the more blown out portion of the balloon. And this balloon bouquet is, like I said, going to just be that one shape, and as I go to some of the balloons in the distance tucked behind those front balloons, I'm going to make those balloons a little darker shade as well, so it really gives a more of a feel of dimension, that those balloons are really behind there, tucked behind the other balloons. So you'll see the bigger ones in front are a little lighter than the ones that I do in the back further on. And really it would be easier if I knew ahead of time what size I wanted, because I ended up doing an A2 size card with this, so I really didn't need to make such a big balloon bunch. So if I had, if I were to do it again, I would have, chosen what size I wanted to do first. That would have saved me some time making so many balloons. So you can see here I'm putting my other mask on there, and then I realized I should have made 3 masks, but I used the backing paper with a magnet for another mask, and that worked just fine. And then I switch out, and that's the only other thing. If I had 2 of these, then I would just have to switch ink, but I only have 1 applicator holder, so I just had to keep switching my little foam circles out each time. And what is really nice about this stencil is it has 5 different balloon shapes. So it really gives you a lot of options. So if you wanted to create a balloon, just one balloon or a bunch of balloons, you could do, so many options with this. You could make a balloon of a balloon bunch of like all the same balloons, which I've chosen to do here. Or you could do a bunch of different shapes, which would be totally fun as well. Or, you can use just one balloon as a focal point on your card. There are lots of different choices. And, I want to make a balloon card or a card that has just that star-shaped balloon, I think that's a fun balloon to do. And you could also put your sentiment inside the balloon, which would be fun too, because these are nice size balloons. This is a 6x6 inch stencil, so it's a good sized stencil. And you can see that I'm using my copy paper a little bit to mask, because I just wanted to, there was a little open area of white showing that I wanted to get green. And then off camera I will be coloring up my monster. And I've really sped this up because this ink blending and masking takes quite a bit of time. So I've sped it up so that you're not watching the whole process. And you can even just, fast forward ahead, because what I do after I've ink blended all of these balloons, I use my happy birthday stencil as a kind of like an embossing folder to emboss it, which, it's not a folder, but it embosses as though you can get it to really have a nice embossed look to it. And how I did that is I have one of those old crank, I have a Cuttlebug, and from way back in the day, and I just use the same, I use that little floppy mat, and then a couple of plates as my sandwich, and run that through a couple times, and it embosses it really nice. Now, if I didn't have color on here that's water reactive, to get an even nicer dry emboss on your cardstock is just spritz your cardstock with a little bit of water first to dampen your cardstock, and that allows those fibers of the paper to stretch out more, so you get an even better dry emboss look. So just a little tip. But here I am, just doing some final balloons to kind of make it more, I guess, just a nice big balloon bouquet. So, and like I was saying before, I ended up coloring off camera using my Cupcake that monster balloon. And what's great about that stamp set, it has a lot of Halloween-y, Halloween-y, is that a word? But a lot of Halloween type cupcakes. But if you have someone who loves witches or loves mummies or loves monsters, you could use them any time of year. And like this monster cupcake is just a perfect cupcake for boys or even girls. You could color up it in shades of, your recipient's favorite colors. This one here, I'm just happening to do in shades of blues and greens. You could use it any color combination you want. Make the monster, for a girl, and use her favorite colors, whoever you're going to be giving it to. And you can see here my bouquet is kind of looking a little lopsided, so I'm going to add just to round it out a little bit more, some more balloons here. So getting back to the monster cupcake, I did that. I colored up the icing of the monster in shades of YGs, like yellow greens, and then he's got little dots on the side, so, and his horns and his teeth I did in shades of blue greens, and then of course the cupcake paper I did in yellows for that. And in my house we kind of like, my kids like confetti cake. So I wanted my cupcake, his mouth, not to just be dark or white. So I decided that this monster was going to be a confetti cake monster. So I just did a bunch of dots inside. When you open up that confetti, cut into that confetti cake, you see all the rainbow of colors inside. So when this monster is opening his mouth, you can see the inside of that cupcake. So I just did a rainbow of Cupcake colors, just tiny little dots inside of the mouth and also around the eyes as well. And then I used there's a coordinating die set too that you can get for this Spooktacular cupcake set. That's really cool. So you can see me, I'm trying to decide what kind of size I'm going to use, and I'm stamping out my monster and first priming it because it was the first time I've used this little monster guy. So I kind of rub my hand around on it and then dry emboss. You can see there, and look at that dry embossing that you can get. It's really cool, and you can really see see clearly the happy birthday of that. And then I adhere that panel onto a top folding A2 size card base, and then I wanted my monster to jiggle, so I want him to wobble, and I'm deciding what size action wobble to put on there, and the big size, the large size, will work perfectly. And so I take off the release paper backing so it will adhere to my monster and then to the center of the card, and I stick him on, and then you can see he's gonna gives a little movement and more dimension. And then I also wanted a little bit of more sparkle around, so I pulled in some of the, I think it's spring showers. Possum has some really beautiful sparkly embellishments and sequin mixes, and that spring showers has got some gorgeous shades of blues and teals and just really nice, like a spring shower, spring colors. And I thought at first I would pull in some yellow, tie it in from the cupcake paper on the bottom, the holder. I can't recall what the name of those are. I didn't really like the yellow. It's a beautiful mix. It's Hello Sunshine, and it's got some beautiful golds and yellows and just, yeah, so nice and bright, but I just didn't think it went well on this particular card. Wasn't the look I was going for. So I take off the yellow and decide just to embellish it with the Hello Sunshine, the spring flowers. Spring showers embellishment set, and you get a ton of embellishments when you'll see if you order some of those embellishments, which I think there's some really nice blends there, and you get a jam-packed bag. And I have the little holder for it, and they all don't fit in that one holder, it holds a lot of embellishment of a lot of sequins blends, but it is jam-packed. And so that's it. There you go. That's my little happy birthday card. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.